Hello and welcome back to Unit 3 Major Religions Part 3 Islamic and Bantu Traditions. Let's get straight into this. Around the year 600, Bedouin peoples traded along vast caravan routes on the Saudi Arabian Peninsula where they interacted with early Christians, Jews, and Zoroastrians. The ideas of monotheism were common at this time, so Bedouins likely saw a connection to Muhammad's teachings. The origins of Islam came from Bedouin culture, which was a nomadic tribe that traded amongst the Middle East. Muhammad over the years began an experience of relations that he attributed to an angel of the deity that referred to as Allah. This was later collected into what is now known as the Quran, and Muhammad criticized polytheism, tribal loyalties, and commercial practices in his society. He called for social justice, including alms to the poor, but he was viewed as a problem and fled from Mecca and escaped to Medina and formed the first Muslim community. He was the leader of an army and then returned to Mecca and retook the building with the Kaaba and declared it the shrine of Islam. A drought combined with the desire of the rulers of Islam to extend their trade routes encouraged the new people to convert and to move out of the Arabian Peninsula. As they moved, they carried their fate with them, and Islam also expanded their military conquest. But after they conquered an area, Islamic world was relatively tolerant, and no one was forced to convert to the faith, and they just made them pay a tax. Core principles of Islam include the representation of people of the book as equals and to respect him because they were followers of Abrahamic faiths and were monotheistic. Believing in Allah as one God and viewing the Quran as the sacred book of the laws for the followers and believing in a hopeful afterlife, all connected to Islamic tradition. This later became concluded into the 5 pillars of Islam, which is believing in one God, praying 5 times daily, giving alms to the poor, fasting during the month of Ramadan, and making a pilgrimage to Mecca once in a lifetime. Jihad is the most controversial following of Islam today and is often connected to a struggle and the improvement of oneself in society. Sharia law was developed by Muslim scholars after the death of Muhammad to consider behavioral requirements. For example, it requires morality and honesty, bans gambling, eating pork, and drinking alcohol. It also says not to enslave Muslims, Sunnis, or Christians. And it led to the schism, which was a dispute of who took over as the caliph or the leader of the Islamic community. Ali, the 4th caliph, was assassinated in 656, and the network of merchants who ordered it became known as the Umayyads, and they became the largest dynasty after the Romans. They later fell to a group called the Abbasids after growing weak and corrupt. Baghdad became the new capital and was an ideal spot for trans-Eurasian trade. Baghdad rivaled Constantinople in both wealth and population, and the Abbasid Caliphate became one of the most powerful and innovative empires of all time. Baghdad also became a center of learning and had technological advances like thicker paper and made it more useful. This led to the creation of many books and represented the golden age of learning. The influence of Persia included the addition of many remarkable scholars, scientists, and poets. Later, the Abbasids became scared of assassination attempts and became hierarchical with an ever-growing bureaucracy, but after attacks from all sides, they collapsed. And yeah. Another part of Unit 3 was Bantu culture, which is still well alive today, and they had an important